Good evening, and thank you for choosing ABC 6 News. I'm Megan Reisted.
And I'm Ben Henry. When disaster strikes and you need help, you likely call law enforcement, but who do they call when they need help?
Yeah, most of us will never go through the wide variety of situations like men and women in law enforcement. Situations that are difficult to get through. ABC 6 News reporter Carson Forsman takes us behind the badge.
It changes you when you see what people are capable of doing to other people.
When Captain Scott Behrens took his first cop job with the Owatonna Police Department, there were a few things he had to keep in mind.
All that stuff takes a toll on you. It makes life difficult.
He could only picture and be ready for the different situations he'd come in contact with. But what he didn't know was how much some of them would stick.
This is the kind of thing that you never forget. Being right down in that ditch. And the tractor, I don't remember where it was when I got here, but the Stahl family was coming this way. The tractor turned in front, and the crash happened, and it caused the Stahl vehicle to go down in the ditch. And like I said, it started on fire.
April 11th, 2009 is a day that still sticks with Captain Scott Behrens. A well-known couple in the Elgin community was killed in a car accident. Dale and Joanne Stahl were killed at the scene. Their granddaughter, Jessica, died at the hospital.
You know, as a cop, you understand that people die, and you can't control people's behavior. But when you see the effects that it has on a family, that's the hard part.
Behrens says the job brought difficulties like anger problems, health issues, and it even cost him a marriage.
The public may see law enforcement as callous and non-emotional, and that's really not the case.
Dr. Stephen Norton specializes in treating law enforcement officers.
And when they find themselves struggling, sometimes they start to question, well, maybe I can't handle this. And unfortunately, that can lead to some denial then.
He says officers have to want the help. And if they do, Dr. Norton says the first step is to talk about what's stressing them out.
They may have this idea, well, this is going to be permanent. This is going to be something I have to deal with forever. And that tends not to be the case. If an officer is having a psychological reaction to a bad incident, that often is a normal reaction to something that's very heavy and very traumatic.
Behrens, who is now in the investigations unit with the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, says he should have gotten help sooner.
When I started this job, I didn't realize how much of it I'd take home with me. The thought when you could drop the uniform off, that it would stay there, but it doesn't. It's always there.
It's not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of being a poor officer. It's not any of those factors. It's just the reality of dealing with a very difficult job that, frankly, most people in society could not manage at all.
Dr. Norton says the way officers are treated by the public has changed.
I think officers now are more cognizant of how the public views them and aware that the public doesn't necessarily view them in the same positive light that, say, 5 or 6 years ago they may have.
And for a police officer, deputy, now captain, he hopes the younger generation of officers ask for help sooner than he did.
We need to know that behind the badge and all the gear, it's a person just like you. Just like you. And then when they take that off, they have the same life stresses at home that you do.
In Rochester, Carson Forsman, ABC 6 News.
Wow, certainly a privilege to have this perspective. Thank you, Captain Scott Behrens, for sharing with us. Dr. Norton, who sees about 5 law enforcement officers every year, says there are other resources available. That information is posted on our website at KAAL-TV.com.